My name is Taisha King from McGavick High School. You're watching Rep Your Voice TV.
What's up, everybody? My name is Trey from Cane Ridge High School. Behind me is beautiful Nashville, and you are watching Rep Your Voice TV.
Lord of mercy, all night Sunday sun crew. Follow me now, listen. Say hi, take yes, you're rolling hip hop. Say J-roll, just you're rolling hip hop.
What's up, everyone? I am your host, Audrey Sprouse, and welcome to Rep Your Voice TV. Today we're going to be taking a deeper look into the over-the-counter and prescription drug abuse and how it's not only affecting Nashville, but your own community and neighborhood as well. First up, DXM. Nope, it's not the next up-and-coming rap artist or a new type of candy. I bet you even have it in your home. Any guesses? Well, we're going to uncover the surprising uses and harmful side effects of this substance found in well-known over-the-counter medicines in our robo-tripping story. Next, we will talk with health service professionals about the prevalence of prescription drug abuse in the youth and media. Then, in our youth shout-out segment, we will highlight a young person taking a stand to prevent substance abuse in their community. Finally, what do you want to be when you grow up? An astronaut, President of the United States, or the next NBA star? You can do anything, and you can be anything you set your mind to. And we've got the proof in our professional spotlight segment. So let's kick this show off with a little trip. Nausea, vomiting, racing heartbeat, numbness. The night started innocent enough, just you and a friend hanging out and watching movies. However, you learn your friend has other plans. She convinces you to take a load off, relax, and feel a crazy new high. Quickly, you start to feel the effects. Nausea sets into the pit of your stomach. Your vision blurs, making you too dizzy to even walk. You have never felt your heart beat so fast. As the sun rises and you regain consciousness, you find yourself on the bathroom floor wrapped around the toilet. Covered in sweat, head pounding. What were you thinking? Not a fun night, was it? This new fad called robo-tripping has recently become a popular source of drug abuse among teenagers. To find out more, Rep Your Voice Street Team member Lamont Perkins went to the expert Shelley Ducker with the Consumer Health Care Products Association.
There are terms that teens tend to use to abuse cough medicine. They use terms like robotripping or tussin. These tend to stem from one of the brand leaders in over-the-counter cough medicine, Robitussin. They use terms like CCC or skittling. The skittling refers to the liquid gels that are these red liquid gels that remind people of candy. But why people abuse cough medicine? It contains a cough suppressant ingredient called dextromethorphan, or DXM, which when used as directed in that 1 tablespoon every 4 to 6 hours helps suppress our cough. What teens have been known to do, about 5% of teens have been known to drink it in exceedingly high amounts, 25 to 50 times the recommended amount to get a high. And that high, that taking 25 to 50 times amount, can be dangerous and sometimes deadly. Well, the first thing is this really flies under the radar screen. People, if they know about medicine abuse, they tend to go right to the prescription drug issue, the prescription pain pills, or Adderall or Ritalin. But I call it over-the-counter but under the radar. These are medicines you can buy over-the-counter at any CVS or Walgreens or Walmart or Target and heck of a lot of gas station convenience stores as well. So it's over-the-counter, but it's under the radar. Parents don't tend to be aware this is something they can abuse. Educators, even community advocates. This really is under the radar screen, and we're trying to put this so that people are aware this is something they need to safeguard, and that cough medicine abuse is something that parents should include in their don't do drugs conversations with their teens.
Today, 1 in 20 teens reports abusing excessive amounts of DXM to get high. And about 1 out of 3 teenagers know someone who has abused over-the-counter cough medicine. Wow, that's really crazy. So, what can we take away from this? What is DXM? What are some symptoms and side effects of overdosing on medicines containing DXM? What are some steps you can take to prevent OTC medicine abuse? We will be right back after these messages.
What's up, y'all? This is Anna, and you're watching Rep Your Voice TV.
You want something to drink?
Can we have one of those beers? I mean, no, come on. Your dad's cool, right?
Yeah, can I help you, officer?
Contributing to the delinquency of a minor, child endangerment, violating the social host law.
Your dad's cool, right?
My dad's real cool. So no.
Of your pyramid.
The bodyguard of yourself. Let no one in without security clearance.
Be quick to assume the position of question.
Sex is worth interrogating. List out the steps and the risk.
Be in charge.
Taking charge in choices.
Listening to those voices in your center stone, your mind.
Blow the whistle. Read the playbook. Be in charge. Be in charge.
Be in charge.
Nashville and Middle Tennessee, the place we call home. There's something about the city that makes us feel good inside. Whether it's the natural beauty, or the laid-back tempo, or the wonderful neighborhoods. We know that there's something special here that makes us feel connected. We've shown the world that we know how to live, work, and play. We are a resilient people. We've weathered tornadoes and floods, and that proves that we know how to come together when we need to. And for over 20 years, the Nashville Prevention Partnership has continued to do its part to promote a healthy, safe Nashville by preventing substance abuse. Thank you for your support.
Welcome back to Rep Your Voice TV. I'm your host, Audrey Sprouse. Now that we've got a grasp on the harms of OTC drug abuse, let's dive even deeper into the more addicting and dangerous types of prescription drugs. Adderall, hydrocodone, Oxycontin are just a few kinds of prescription drugs that you may have heard of. They are also some of the most abused.
In the year 2010, there were more people died of drug overdoses or drug-related deaths than there were car crashes, suicide, or homicide.
If you look at the data, it's easier to buy prescription drugs than it is beer in most studies that have looked at that.
The state of prescription drug abuse in Tennessee is at epidemic proportions. We now are serving more people through our state-funded programs that are abusing prescription drugs than we are alcohol. This is the first time that's ever happened in Tennessee. Alcohol has always been the #1 drug of choice. We are seeing it rise every year with great proportions.
Tennessee has long been the #1 state for prescriptions per capita. And it was #1 for many, many years, and then TennCare came in and limited the number of prescriptions, which we dropped to #4 about 2 or 3 years ago. but we have worked our way back up, and we have regained number 1 from West Virginia during 2011. So we have a real problem, particularly in the last several years, particularly with opiates, oxycodone, hydrocodone, et cetera, are rapidly growing in their use in this country. Some of it is legitimate, and I'm glad we've got them for pain, but on the other hand, some are being abused and misused and has some deleterious effects.
People die of overdoses with prescription drug abuse. And so it's critical to get a handle on it and to find out where people are getting their medicines, how they're getting them, how they're using or abusing them, so that we can get a better handle on helping people get the services that they need. There are 2 primary ways to address the epidemic. One is if you have opiates, dangerous prescription drugs in your home, lock them up. Secondly, if you have opiates and don't need them any longer, you can take them out to a take-back box, and they can be dispensed there, and the local law enforcement will destroy those in an effective way.
You just have to change the mindset that the answer to your problems does not lie in a pill. And we've all got problems, but you just have to educate and take the steps to use drugs as they should be used.
So, let's take a minute to recap. What does prescription drug abuse look like? What are some warning signs? What are some measures your community can take to prevent this type of abuse? How would you approach someone who might be abusing these drugs? We're going to take a quick break. See you back here.
Would you like to become a member of the Rep Your Voice Street Team? Give us a call, email us, or like us on Facebook. You know how we do it. It's going down.
This program has been brought to you by the Nashville Prevention Partnership, creating community solutions to substance abuse.
Since 1984, students have been taking a right stand against the issues that affect youth. Originally started as a way to help students refrain from the use of alcohol and drugs, STARS continues its mission almost 3 decades later. Roger Dinwiddie and the staff of STARS Nashville serves more than 50 schools and community sites in Middle Tennessee, while remaining committed to the needs of more than 86,000 students.
SAP program at STARS is individual and group counseling for high-risk teens and focused mainly on anti-bullying, bullying prevention, drug and alcohol issues. They don't really have an outlet to kind of express their emotions. They have a lot of emotions that are pent up. So when they come to school, a lot of those emotions get expressed in very negative ways, such as bullying or fighting or acting out behavior in classrooms. And so when they act out that way, they get into this repetitive cycle of acting out, getting a consequence, and doing it all over again because they're getting that attention at school that they're not getting at home.
These are not just people who you meet and they forget about you. They actually care for you and where you're going. They will not let you go astray on your path to greatness, you know. So I feel like they'll always be there for me if I ever need to call. Eric Johnson with STARS impacted my life by showing me what a positive male in society looks like. He was really the pinnacle of what a man is, I think. He helped me become part of the group by getting me involved in all the activities that we partook in. Rico Page, he keeps me straight in school. For starters, he really doesn't let you stay off track. He's always in the hallways, so you really can't be seen doing nothing you're not supposed to do. So I always, keep my best foot forward with Rico around.
Being a teenager and being a middle schooler is a really tough time in our life. and they need as much support as they can get.
Don't go away. We will be right back with our youth shout out segment after this message.
Did you know that 70% of high school youth don't drink alcohol? I'm one. Are you one?
Hey, welcome back to Rep Your Voice TV. As you've learned, prescription drug abuse can take many forms, from painkillers to common cold medicines. This problem continues to increase at an alarming rate right here in Nashville. The huge extent of this problem may seem overwhelming, but it only takes one person to make a difference. And would you believe me if I told you that one person was your age?
Teens United is a group of young people, high school students, that organize one part of a large festival called Celebrate Nashville. And so it's solely designated for teenagers, organized by teens, at the largest cultural festival in the state of Tennessee. They planned what activities they wanted at the event. They reviewed applications. They put together a stage script to introduce the performers. They recruited their own volunteers. They painted flags for the entryway. They did a lot of hard work organizing, planning, and communicating with a lot of different members of our community.
And Teens United was basically, we met every week for a few months before the event. My favorite part would have to be like working in a group and meeting new people and all different people from different places in the world. It was just a nice experience overall.
My involvement was that I was in charge of an activity, the activities committee, and that meant me having to get volunteers of my own and having to work with other activity committee members.
The young people who organized this event put in over 266 hours of service. On event day, they contributed over 112 hours of service. So we're constantly getting compliments about the work we're doing because people are impressed that it's young people. It's not adults. We're not doing the work. We're guiding them through the process, but this committee is solely dedicated to them. They are the sole organizers. Volunteering is one great way to tap into their skills and see, what is it that they like? What are they passionate about? It's being a part of something, feeling like they belong, not just to their small little group, but to an entire community.
I think it's very good for teens to be in these types of groups because it allows them to get out of trouble, because it's a really good experience. You get to meet new people, it's fun, like you learn new skills, and it gives you volunteer hours, which is good for college.
I've grown by my leadership skills. Now I feel like I'm a stronger person, I'm a better leader. I can go out there in the real world and be like, oh, I'm a teen, but I'm not just any teen that does bad things. I'm responsible and I'm capable of doing a lot of good things.
So what issues do you see affecting your community? Take action and be the change you wish to see in the world. We'll be right back.
And hand on the torches that are ignited with the passion for change. Pass the passion to our peers so that they may see what we see.
We are here because we want to learn how to reach out to youth who turn to drugs to answer their problems.
Our time is now to make parents more aware of what's actually going on in their kids' life.
Our time is now to change the perception of cool.
Our time is now to have the alcohol industry tell the truth about the effects of alcohol.
Our time is now to sacrifice for others.
Our time is now to create a brighter and better future for us and our peers.
Welcome back to Rep Your Voice TV. Finally, wrapping up the show is our professional spotlight segment.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Craig King, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I went to Overton High School, and I went to Howard University. Majored in jazz and classical piano. I started off playing in church, and I honed my craft playing hour after hour on drums and piano at my church in Nashville. And went on to college, and in school we got an opportunity to do a lot of auditions here and there, and I was playing for a mayor's church, and the mayor was very close to Ray Charles. I had some kind of relationship with Ray Charles, and he asked me to basically come and audition for Ray. And needless to say, I didn't expect to get the job, but his whole thing was go ahead and do it anyway for the experience. So I went, auditioned for the experience, and Ray ended up liking what I did the most out of all the people who auditioned, and he asked me to play with him. And Quincy Jones scored he was the conductor for the thing, and he scored the whole thing. It was called Black Requiem. And we ended up doing that, and that led to other shows and a greater relationship. And basically that just turned into a Quincy baby, because from that point on, I connected with Will Smith and started working with Jazzy Jeff on the Summertime album. That was my first video that I was ever in, and it was just all kind of, the Nashville boy was having some fun out there in California, basically. And from that, the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, which at that time, I didn't know we were making history, because that was the first time Ice Cube had done a movie, John Singleton's first look. It went from that film to just a lot of different kind of projects, from working with Mr. Eddie F. in New Jersey, Mr. Marley Marl, and all those production camps that I was a part of, doing Heavy D and Mary and John A. with KG and Naughty by Nature and all that, and then working, on the tours and stuff with the greatest rap tour that ever existed, which at that time was me being the music director for the Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, with Naughty and Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, Heavy D, Queen Latifah, Busta Rhymes, Tribe Called Quest, Ghetto Boys, and Public Enemy Each Night would shut it down. So anyway, that was just, I would consider that the baby Craig King era. Kanye came later, Ludacris came later, but that was in that little juncture there. Nashville probably single-handedly formulated all these genres in me. Because growing up in a town like this, you really, if you had any sense, you would have taken advantage of all the different genres passing through town. So you had some rock, you had some country, you had some blues, you had some gospel, you had some Christian, you had some jazz, you had some funk. You go out to Hadley Park and on Sundays and just listen to all the funk, you know, then it was just, the city, it just encompassed so many different genres that I can't even front like I just was born this way. Nashville formed me into this entity, you know. So, yeah, I mean, I'm one of the first to wave my hand and just be ultra proud of Nashville, Tennessee. I don't care what anybody in the world says. Nashville helped me hone into all these different genres and not be afraid to blur the lines and just stretch your imagination, go all over the place. The song is called Stay Away. And the reason why I came up with the concept of stay away is because I think about how convenient it is to do wrong, okay? And it's much more convenient to do wrong than right. The bottom line is, the stay away feel for me was just trying to, to convey this message to the young people to stay away from the nonsense, stay away from the drugs, stay away from this convenient, I just want to win and I want to be a superstar tomorrow, I just want to have all the girls, I just want all the boys to like me. Listen, there's a process here and you got to go through the process and you got to become good and you got to become great. Then the world will notice you. You don't just get all that attention just because you want it. And I know it's not easy, because there are a lot of children right here who have tough relationships with their parents, have tough relationships with their peer groups. There's a lot of energy pulling them in negative directions, but you gotta be a leader, you gotta stand up, and all the best did that. They all carved their own pathway, they all told the clowns, step back, let me do what I gotta do, and then they ended up following them in the long run. The same people you calling lame this week, you're gonna be asking them for a job next week. You feel me? So it's really, you make the decision now. You wanna be the man right now? Okay, be the man right now. You wanna do all these illegal things and smoke all these illegal things and drink all this nonsense and do all this stupid stuff? Well, that's cool, but in the end of the day, you'll either be knocking on the guy's door that you call lame and asking him for a job, or you'll be behind bars or dead, wishing that you had thought this process through better. So that's why I'm doing this whole thing. That's the only reason why I'm involved. I'm not into this so people will know who I am. I'm not into this so I can brag about what I've done. I'm not in this for any of that. This is all about the young people and trying to get this message across to them that you need to stay away from the foolishness. And I'm only saying it because I love you, and I done seen enough people go down the wrong path and end up in some very horrible situations.
That's our show. Hopefully you have a better understanding of the harmful effects of prescription drug abuse, and more importantly, the power you have in your school and community to prevent this. If you have any questions or concerns that a friend or family member is abusing, talk to a trusted adult. You could save someone's life. Thanks for watching Rep Your Voice TV. Audrey Sprouse and the Rep Your Voice Street Team signing off.